them, so I don't know why you're standing there waiting at the bucket. I'm not going to feed you, Perry. You're going to have to go in the water and get your fish. That's right. Everybody else is going to go into the water and they don't actually pull fish. That would be right. So we do have 10 of the penguins. 3 of these were actually hatched here. And the other 7 have been rescued, either as injured adults or orphan chicks. So we do have to rescue penguins from time to time. But of course we take very good care of these birds until we're able to release them back into the wild. This of course being our aim, and is usually successful. I'm not going to feed you there, Perry, come on. Perry's just hoping that if he looks very sweet and innocent, I'll let him be lazy and have one at the bucket. Right, here we go. Well done. The birds you see in here, however, have been deemed unsuitable for release. So it's considered very unlikely if we were to release any of these birds here back into the wild, they would survive. They'd be very unlikely to be able to catch their own fish, and also unlikely to recognise predators out there. They're very, very spoilt, and probably if we were to release them, they'd walk up to the nearest person and expect them to have a bucket full of fish handy. So they have a pretty good time in here. Every need is catered for, 3 meals a day. Their pool, saltwater pool, cleaned every day for them. They even poo-scoop the sand. So this is Club Med for penguins, if you like. These are the smallest of the world's penguin species, weighing an average of 1 to 1.5 kilograms. They're also the only species of penguin we have living and breeding in Australia. They're found all around the southern coastline and in New Zealand. Here on Penguin Island, although it is a very small island, we do have the largest breeding colony of little penguins in Western Australia. The numbers are estimated to be around 1,500 to 2,000 adult birds, so really good healthy population for such a small island. Before the island was actually managed by the Department of Environment and Conservation. Gosh, good display there, birds. None of these birds would actually go for a swim this morning, so we're very lucky. They're all too cold, it was a little bit too windy for them. So before the island was managed by DEC, or CALM as it was then, Conservation and Land Management, in 1987, there were only estimated to be around 100 little penguins on the island. The vegetation had become so depleted, there were no boardwalks, that there was actually nowhere for these little birds to hide. So they've done very well indeed, and as I said, good healthy population now. As you can see, on land these birds move very slowly, they're a little bit clumsy, they waddle rather than walk. They've got very, very short legs, and those legs are placed well back on their bodies compared to most other birds. You can see when they're in the water, however, the placement of these legs so far back on their bodies does enable them to tuck their feet well up underneath their bodies, right up out of the way of that beautiful streamlining, enabling them to move very, very gracefully through the water. They do use the same muscles to propel themselves through the water as flying birds used to fly, and are believed to have evolved from flying birds around 6